Dear friends, hello to friends. Hello. What I'll do is we'll start with devotions, then we'll start afterwards. So we'll pass on to we'll start with
O God, entertain these children. These children are the plants of thine orchard, the flowers of thy meadow, the roses of thy garden. Let thy rain fall upon them, let the sun of reality shine upon them. With thy love, let thy breeze refresh them in order that they may be trained, grow, and develop and appear in the utmost beauty. Thou art the giver, thou art the compassionate, up to Baha'i. O Lord, make these children excellent plants. Let them grow and develop in the garden of thy covenant, and bestow freshness and beauty through the outpourings of the clouds of the Abha. Thou art the powerful, the all-loving. Thou compassionate God, bestow upon me a heart which like unto a glass may be illumined with the light of thy love, and confer upon me thoughts which may change this world into a rose garden through the outpourings of thy heavenly grace. Thou art the compassionate and merciful, thou art the great beneficial God of the Baha'i. O God, my God, aid thou thy trusted servants to have loving and tender hearts. Help them to spread amongst all the nations of the earth the light of guidance that cometh from the company on high. Verily thou art the strong, the powerful, the mighty, the all-subduing, the ever-giving. Verily thou art the generous, the gentle, the tender, the most bountiful.
O thou kind Lord, O thou who art generous and merciful, the sun of thy mercy is shining upon all, and the clouds of thy bounty shower upon all. Thy gifts encompass all, thy loving providence sustaineth all. Gather all people beneath the shadow of thy bounty, and cause them to unite in harmony, so that they may become as the rays of one sun, as the waves of one ocean, and as the fruits of one tree. May they drink from the same fountain, may they be refreshed by the same breeze. May they receive illumination from the same source of light. Thou art the giver, the merciful, the omnipotent. Abdul Baha.
Upon welcome. Um, today is a very, very special day. I remember the community looking at and exploring children classes about 6 months, 7 months ago. And it seemed such a far goal that maybe we couldn't reach it this year. But thank you to the people that really drew it forward, and the guidance of the Assembly, and the backing of the community, we're here today. I think that deserves a round of applause from everybody for everybody. I don't think we can begin to realize how special today is. Because today we're building the foundation for years to come. We're in this hall today for the Baha'i community. And our kids are here are of the Baha'i family. But this is not the way it's going to be. The words of Baha'u'llah are for everybody. And the purpose of doing this is spreading that words, that love that Baha'u'llah had for everybody, for everybody. Okay, so just one step. The first step was that we were obedient to the House of Justice when they asked us to do this. Even though the goal seemed so far, we took that steps of obedience, the guidance came. The guidance came. The concourse on high came to our assistance. We're here. But today it starts a series of many steps. Many steps. So we need the support of the community, like we are here, all the friends are here today. We'll push it. We'll move one step at a time, and we'll eventually get there. I don't want to talk too much. We have a very nice program for us tonight. We have some guests that have honored us with their presence. So we'll get into it, and then the program will unravel itself as we go on. First of all, we all know who's here, our dear councillor, which needs no introduction whatsoever. She is known well around the world, really, not just Australia, around the world, whose mere presence brings joy to the hearts of the people around us. So I would like to invite our dear councillor, Mr. Rehan, to please come and say a few words.
Aloha. Good morning. Have you ever said good morning to someone and they say, what is good about it? Good morning, and it's really wonderful. Morning, we can say good morning. We can even say wonderful morning, huh? Change the good morning. It's just a beautiful pleasure for me. And I thank God, I thank the Blessed Beauty for this privilege that He gave me to be here. It is really an honor to be here and witness a birth that, as Arashjun says, is going to bring all the children of Whitehorse in education, the Baha'i education that we all need. I first would like to congratulate your community, your beloved spiritual assembly, for initiating this very important activity. And you all know that Universal House of Justice called all of you, the young people, a treasure, a precious treasure that a community has. You are all our precious treasure. And what will we do when we have a precious treasure? We polish it, we look after it, we clean it, we do all we can to get the sparkles out, huh? And wear it and show it. And that is what we are doing, what we are starting to do. Looking after our precious treasures. And I congratulate you all for that. Before I sit down, I also want to share with you my own experience as teaching children classes. I have had the honor of teaching children classes at the shadow of the beautiful House of the Bab in Shiraz. I never forget those beautiful days of my life. Every morning when I pray and I put my head down, I remember those days. I had students like Mona, who gave her life for the faith. I used to go for 3 years, every week to one of the houses in the Kuche Shamshir Garan, the street that the house of the Bab was, and Khanum Nane Agha we used to call her, that was looking after the house, would come after my children's classes. She would come and she would tell me, I want to give you a gift because you have been teaching these children. And come and say prayers in the house of the Bab. And I often would have that pleasure to go and say prayers. And of course, when that house went, I was in Iran, and I couldn't bear it. So, those teachers that are starting today, I want to tell you, these days are going to be, in future, when you get older like me, the precious times you will remember. When you see the 2-year-old, the 3-year-old, the 5-year-old getting married, starting their families, you look at them and say, oh, I taught you children classes. It's a very precious moment. And I congratulate all those volunteers who are going to start today. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to share your joy. Allah Akbar.
Thank you so much for your answer. Next, when the House of Justice and everyone, the House of Justice puts down the plans, it kind of filters down to us because we don't exactly understand the concept of what they want from us. So with the help and guidance of the councillors and the National Spiritual Assembly, and now we have the pleasure of having Victoria Baha'i Council, or regional councils, it filters down to us exactly what the wishes are and where we should strive to. And so, I would like to invite a member of the Victoria Baha'i Council who has come with a message from them for us, because we're starting off. Is that good?
Thank you. I have to catch my breath after listening to Councillor, so forgive me if I'm a little bit shaky. It's an honor to be in your presence, presence of the community and the members of the Assembly. The Council has graced our community with her presence over the last 10 days or so, and we've had the pleasure of seeing her a few times, the auxiliary board members, and all of you, children. I have a message of love and support to extend to you on behalf of the Baha'i Council. This is a wonderful day, as Arash put it. I think as the citizens of Whitehorse community, not just the Baha'i community, but the wider community, go on about their normal day-to-day business, and they're doing their routine Sunday chores this morning. They're unaware of what a fantastic event is occurring that's not only going to serve the Baha'i community, but their children as well. We have no more precious treasure these days, as the council have put it, as children. And any effort that goes towards their education is the most meritorious in such a teaching. It is teaching, really. Your community is to be congratulated, your assembly, for taking this step forward towards fulfilling the goals of the 5-year plan in multiplication of children's classes and other various activities that we do, like study circles, devotional meetings. But this is, for your community and for your cluster and for the Victorian community, a wonderful move forward. You'll have challenges, you'll have, small obstacles to overcome. That's part and parcel of any new initiative of this scale. But I'm sure that you'll overcome it and you'll enjoy every day that you spend in these classes. And we just have, the love and support of the council to bring to you. It was impossible up until yesterday for any of us to attend because of the events that were organized for this weekend. But somehow Baha'u'llah has his own way of sorting things out so that we can go on about the...
Thank you so much. Please take our love and thanks to the council as well. We know how hard and so much effort they put in for the work they do for the faith here in Victoria. Take our love back. Now, someone that we deal with all the time, someone that has inspired us all the time, someone that has that ability to inspire. We all know who we're talking about. Betsy here, our beloved Betsy.
Do I really need this? Can you hear me in the back? Yes. Okay. Okay, the counselor says I need to be dignified. And okay, I'll use this. But first, can you indulge me and allow me to take a photograph for my records because I want to be able to remember this event. So, Jacqueline, would you just hold that? Just indulge me for a minute. My photographer daughter is on her year of service, so otherwise I'd have her standing here taking a photo of everybody. Got to get both sides of the hole here. Thank you, thank you. And they have to see the counselor happens, and I can send this to you.
Doesn't need.
Thanks, Jackie. I wanted to talk. Oh, right, sorry. Pretending to be dignified again. I wanted to talk to you today about Baha'u'llah in their hearts and an extreme measure of obedience in their hearts and their minds, because you've listened to the guidance that's come and now you've acted on it. And that's really what I want to share. Now, it might look like this is Katabi Betsy here, but it's not. I just want to make sure I get all the love and guidance from the House of Justice properly to you. It's been a busy week, and I had lots of other things to memorize with other study circles. In the last couple of years, kind of got a little more crystallized, and the Assembly's thinking, we ought to have a Baha'i school here. But in the last year, all the necessary components have come together. You know, when we have training, and then we have outcome, what do we get? Success. And the community of Whitehorse has undertaken the training that the House of Justice has asked us to do. They've asked us be involved in the Training Institute. And the Training Institute is really, the whole reason we have it is to raise up human resources for the Assembly to use. That's the eventual goal. Might take, a few months for some children from the wider community to start filtering in. That's okay. You've got to have a little bit of time to iron out the kinks. We've all got, things that, oops, that didn't work quite exactly the way we wanted it. We'll revise our timetable or whatever. But that's the eventual goal, and that's where the love and the obedience has come in, and you're going to end up with the success. Now, two letters that came to mind when I was thinking, what would I say to this community about are a natural outgrowth of the training received early in the main sequence. Now they're talking about the sequence of courses, and they're talking about book 3. And by the way, book 5 is out, so this will be the next step to help. Established communities are then revitalized. And of course, Whitehorse is a long-established, very respected community. So as you open up your children's classes to the wider community, you see devotional meetings starting to happen. Maybe they'll happen while the children are in their classes. Maybe there'll be evening devotional meetings in homes or in halls, whatever is suitable for your community. These devotional meetings will start to take place. Seekers are coming, they're asking questions. Again, we look at what the House of Justice said, and this is love and obedience on the part of the institution. All of this, and they're talking about the raising up of human resources, all of this opens thrilling opportunities for local spiritual assemblies. And I bet that this year has been quite a thrilling and exhilarating year for the local spiritual assembly as they grapple with how are we going to do this, how are we going to use the human resources that have been said. This is the closing remarks from their Rizvan message. Oops. Dear friends, gratified by solid evidence of the progress being made far and wide, we trust in the continuing confirmations of our Supreme Lord upon the dedicated efforts you exert within the framework of the 5-year plan. A plan designed to fit the requirements of these times. May your persistence in its pursuit release those pent-up forces that, through the grace and favor of the Apha Beauty, can advance this mighty thrust, can advance by mighty thrust. I congratulate you most wholeheartedly.
Thank you so much, Betsy. But you lost me there in the middle for a second, because she mentioned people are cutting their lawns. And I automatically looked at the look on my mom's face and I said, man, I gotta cut that lawn. I gotta walk outside and get lost in my front yard. Quotation from Abdul Baha. It says, every child is potentially the light of the world and at the same time its darkness. Wherefore must the question of education be accounted as of primary importance. Okay? So that's a quotation that says, really concentrate on it. And then the mission statement says, the students' spiritual values and virtues. So that's what we're striving for. Just on that note, I would like to invite a member of the Assembly to give us a message from the Assembly, and then we'll get on with the actual opening. So, Sohail-Jan, can you come out here on behalf of the Assembly and share the message?
Thank you very much for being here today. I actually want to not get a permission to hold a piece of paper in my hand to deliver what I wanted, because there's lots of things that the Assembly wants to say. But I have only been given 2 to 3 minutes to say them. Now, on behalf of the Assembly, I really want to first of all welcome the children to these classes. I think they have been very patient with all of us so far, and this is a sign of maturity of the community, and thank you very much also for being part of our community. Then I want to turn my attention to the beloved auxiliary board members, the representative of our council, And also, naturally, and not least, but to Councillor for being here and the effort that you take to put time aside and actually share excitement with the community. That is wonderful to see you here and share that love and the blessings that comes with it, at all levels, as Betsy has been trying to repeatedly say to us, that with obedience and with love we will get success. Now, I think all of us also today should acknowledge that we have a journey ahead of us, all of us. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the captain and the vice captain of this journey, and I'd really like to ask them to stand up and put their commitments aside officially on behalf of the Assembly and the committee that has behind them. They are our principal and vice principal. Their job is actually a very pleasant one. Let me assure them at the very beginning. As was mentioned by our dear councillor, all of these things bring blessings for the person and for the community. And having served in the past as a vice, whatever it was called at the time, I know that his soul is resting in peace. Mr. Mahtavi also has helped all of us in this community when he was also a principal for our schools in some other places. Now, my minute is up, but I have got one more minute. I'd like to remind you of the following words, because this is what we've gone through in the last year. The following words summarizes what we have done today. These are commitment, unity, consistency, progressiveness, independence, resourcefulness, consolidation, organization, self-perpetual love for ourselves and for our community, and being community conscious. But the last word is the one that I really want to bring from the Assembly to the attention of everybody, and that is excitement. This event is a very, very, very exciting event for the Assembly. And because it has seen, through this event, community change. Because it has brought focus to the community. So I think the word excitement is the one that I want to emphasize, and I want everybody to also feel it as the way the Assembly wants you to know that we are all excited every Wednesday evening, because we have a subject called OPI, Office of Plan Implementation, Office of Obedience, if you like to call it, Office of Love, because they were given the task on behalf of the Assembly to bring together from all angles what we needed to hear, what we needed to focus on. Whether it was through the assistants that were blessed to be on part of that committee, or the Assembly members on that committee, we have all been very excited. And I think about 6 months ago, I had the privilege, and the Assembly members had the privilege of being in one of our unique feasts. In that feast, we saw the results of attending the sequence of Ruhi books. We saw it. Our youth got up that night and volunteered to go and see more of those trainings. We were delighted to see that as an Assembly. We were given power after that feast in our next Assembly meetings to actually go and put these plans into more achievement level. So let me tell you something else about this excitement. The Assembly is excited because it sees it not only because our wonderful children will continue to have their moral classes, educational levels, of wishes and goals are on individual level, on our community level, on our regional level, and also on our national level. We have amongst us today, in our own community, wonderful pre-youth, or junior youth I should call them, that have seen the full sequence of books. This is a wonderful resource for our community. Okay, we see this center as a pivot point. You know what pivot point is? It's a center for achieving a balance between our Baha'i commitment and a wider community commitment. And thank everybody who have been involved in this wonderful achievement. Thank you again.
Thank you. I just want to, I'm sorry, we are running a bit late, but I think it's something that it's very important. You know, this process seems to come along and it seems to have this face that we all love. But I want to acknowledge the people in the back a little bit. The people that have been in those long meetings, doing work in the background, very selflessly, just not really being in the face of it, but have been there. I know it's a bit of a lengthy process, but I do want to name them. First of all, Mrs. Azay, can you please stand up? Matthew Bafano, can you please stand up? Shah John, please do stand up. Sonia, please stand up. And Joshua, please do stand up. And also, Mr. Agradi was in there with the process as well. And then recently, very recently, when the assembly was thinking, look, we need someone that we can trust to put in the school for the running of things. And then recently we were blessed with Mr. Teshakor and also Mr. Agradi taking the role on the principal and the vice principal. It's just been pushed in the background, it's been working, they've been working with the guidance of the assembly, you know, changing things, doing things, this and that. It's been really hard on them. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, each and every one of them. Also, now I would like to actually open the school and we'll have the lovely children go to their classes and go check out their room and maybe, you know, get to know each other a little bit and come back and join us for a bit of food. So I'd like to invite our principal, Riaz John, to come and actually open the school for us. And I'm sorry, just before you do, I'm sorry. I forgot some people to thank. You know, about 3 days ago, I asked the youth committee, please organize something for today. And you know what? They took beyond what we asked them to do. You know, we asked them to do sausage sizzle for us, and obviously we'll enjoy that night. But you'd be amazed. They were here 7:30 this morning, putting up these decorations, cleaning up the house, getting together, being organized. Putting together. Thank you so much for each and every one. So this is the community spirit. You know, we get together, we do something together. This is obedience and success that Betsy was talking about. Riaz John, please, thank you.
Thank you. I'm really shaking. I don't think I can handle so much excitement for a day. All the welcoming again from me. I don't mention any names. So already spent some time. Manager Hanum brought tears to my eyes this morning, so that was something. Something to parents. Deeply, I'd like to thank you. And I'd like to give you that insurance that this assembly and this committee and our beloved teachers, we give best possible Baha'i education that we can to our children. Our children from the Baha'i community and from outside. And I'm very positive in years to come, or maybe months to come, we will get students, non-Baha'i students, from Junction Road, as Betsy mentioned, from Whitehorse. I welcome you again, and the school open as now. Thank you very much. It's a tradition that, as for the committee, they put a ribbon, they're going to cut that. Um, Also, I just received a note, and I don't know, they asked me to say thank you to Arash. Not this Arash. No, don't get excited. That's for Arash Arjuman. Elihu. Why, how come you say thank you, Arash BBQ? Is that barbecue? And it's barbecue. All right. I thank Arash Arjuman.
Arash, bring your barbecue.
He didn't. He's supposed to, but he didn't. I actually thank Arash and all the youth that they organized the barbecue, all the shopping and preparation, and onion peeling, which is a task for itself. And also, thank you very much for Arash John, and I clap hands for Arash. I would say Arash himself was a drive for this for opening and for organizing this Sunday School Center. And we deeply thank you for all his support. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Please, the teachers, can I ask you to actually come forward? And please.
Teachers.
I just quickly asked our teacher to introduce themselves, so please, start from Maria.
Maria Ali Nijad. Baher Darube. Jacqueline Kabir. Vida Fatou. Nilufar Moghali. Pablo Shahzari. Saman Khan. Donran Qadi. Sahar Hassan. Shakir Rashid.
Thank you very much. And we just got that thing, and I have before actually assembling this one, I have a few things to say, few words after children doing this class. Thank you. Yes, please. You hold the scissor and I hold the ribbon.
Excellent.
Great show.
Great show then.
You've been looking for scissors.
Where's the
She's
scissors?
bringing the
The scissors. It's okay, you have to take both hands.
Where is it?
It's in there somewhere.
This is lovely. Very good. Ya Şiraz koca ince koca. Kocam var değil mi? Kocam var.
You got to acknowledge that the children have been very, very patient. Thank you so much. But very soon, you get to explore the new classroom. So, what we're going to do, guys,
I'm proud of you.